Hey, this is Lynn. I am here for my week 8 weigh-in results. So I've been on the carnivore diet now for 2 whole months, and I'm really excited to share my latest weigh-in results and just kind of give an update on how I'm doing. I had a really good week. Wasn't too challenging as far as cravings. I did real well. Didn't cheat. It was a pretty uneventful week. So I've been tired, but that's just because my sleep habits haven't been that great. But overall, I'm doing well. I did have a little bit of flare-up of inflammation, and it may be because of fatigue, but my rosacea is not that great. It's slowly getting better. But from what I hear about the carnivore diet, it can take several months, quite a few months, before something like rosacea clears up. But I had an appointment with my naturopathic doctor. He's really happy with the fact that I'm losing weight, and so that's really good. He wants to do a test to just check my gut microbiome. So I may be doing that soon. So overall, all is well. So for this week, the results were actually quite good again. The scale weight says that I'm down 2.6 pounds. But I gained 1.2 pounds of muscle. And it had been a while since I'd gained bone, but I actually gained bone this week. So I'm up 0.2 pounds of bone. So the total non-fat gain that I had was 1.4 pounds. So when you add that to how much the scale weight came down, it means that I lost a total of 4 pounds of fat this week. So I'm super excited about that. When I think about a pound of ground beef, it's like that's 4 of them that I lost. If that was equivalent to fat, that's 4 of those that I lost this week. So I can't complain. That's so great. It's fantastic. I'm losing weight. I've noticed some things like my clothes are fitting me looser. My bra strap, I have to go snap it one further in. Otherwise it's too loose. Trying on some different clothes that were too tight before, and I'm kind of not quite there yet with where I feel comfortable that they're kind of loose enough. I kind of like my tops to be kind of a little bit flowy and not clingy. So I'm not quite there with some of these clothes that I bought that were a bit too small, but I'm definitely getting there. And I've been seeing a chiropractor, and I've been seeing a physical therapist. I've been doing my exercises with the physical therapist gave me. So I don't do a whole lot of like cardiac exercise because I just have to still be careful with my knee. So I'm mostly just doing stretching and, resistance band exercises just to help build up my strength and my flexibility and things that are gentle that aren't going to aggravate my knee or my back. I'm really hoping that at some point I'm going to be able to do some more vigorous exercise, but I'm not in a rush. It's okay. I'm doing well, and my body composition is doing well. So the muscle that I'm gaining, I believe, is from the food that I'm eating, because I'm really not doing a whole lot of, even the resistance weight, I'm not doing a whole lot of it. It's not enough really to build muscle, independent of the food that I've been eating. So I have been eating mostly beef. I found that beef works best for me. I had a little bit of chicken. I've been avoiding the bacon because bacon flares up my mast cell activation syndrome because it's high in histamine. And I have to keep reminding myself that I have to be careful when it comes to high histamine foods. So I may do a separate video on that at some point, because I know mast cell activation syndrome, most people haven't heard of it, but the doctors that I've listened to that are experts in it believe that it's way more common than we realize. And so I probably should do a video just sharing what it is, because a lot of people are walking around with it and don't even realize it. They're undiagnosed because most doctors aren't really familiar with how to diagnose it. So I might do a video on that just to bring some more awareness to mast cell activation syndrome, what it is, how it presents, and how to get diagnosed. If you're one of these people who is frustrated because you've been to many doctors, multiple specialists over the years, nobody can really pinpoint what's wrong with you, this may be something that you're dealing with. I know over the years I've been to 17 different specialists, and they would all try to label me, but none of the treatments would ever work, or there would be big question marks, like all the tests would come out fine and there'd be no issues, and they just put their hands up and say, well, it's not this or it's not that, but they didn't give me an answer. They didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until last year that I finally got the diagnosis of mast cell activation syndrome. So in my nursing practice, after I got diagnosed, this light bulb went on in my mind that, wait a minute, I talk to patients all the time that are in the same boat that I was in, that are frustrated because there's no answers. So if you're listening to this and you would like to have, more information and have me do a video on mast cell activation syndrome, please let me know in the comments, but I'll probably do it anyways, because I really feel strongly that this is something that needs to be out there, that people need to be more aware of it, so that they'll have an idea whether this is something that they should ask their doctors about, because it is progressive. The older you get, the worse it gets, and there is treatment for it, even though it's fairly new as a diagnosis, and the treatment is still kind of being figured out. It's kind of individual. You have to figure out what works for you. At least being aware that it's a real condition out there is helpful and can get you at least answers if you're like me and are walking around with no answers. So anyways, I do have to remember that I have mast cell activation syndrome, and high histamine foods are a big key when it comes to mast cell activation. And until recently, I didn't even know that foods naturally contain histamine, and there's certain foods that have more histamine than other foods. Just like gluten, there are certain foods that are higher in gluten than other foods. But that tends to be food categories that have higher gluten with histamine. It can be across all the categories, but there's certain types of foods that have a lot higher histamine than others. So maybe I'll do that video and provide more information about mast cell activation syndrome and just go a little bit deeper into what I've experienced and how I got diagnosed. But anyways, aside from that, my results as I'm looking at these are fantastic. Over the 2 months, according to the scale plus how much muscle and bone I've gained, my actual fat loss over the past 2 months is 24.8 pounds. That is hugely significant. And so I'm so glad I have this body composition scale, so I can really drill down to how my body composition is changing, how much actual fat am I losing, how much muscle and bone am I gaining. My bone mass is still low for my age, so I'm just excited whenever I gain some bone, because I don't want to end up with osteoporosis. So anyways, that's the results for this week, and I'm super excited to share them with you, and I hope that everyone is having an absolutely fantastic Monday and have a wonderful week.